Welcome to our weekly discussion of all things current in California politics. I'm Walt Gray, joined this week by reporter Emily Hoeven, political columnist with the San Francisco Chronicle. Emily, always nice to have you back. The governor is out stumping again for the presidential election. What's going on? Where is he and why is he?
Great questions. Yeah, so he took a little trip out of California to stump for President Joe Biden in Idaho and in Oregon, and I believe he's also headed to Utah. Again, he's trying to go to these states where he feels like Democrats don't have a strong enough presence, where voters there are overlooked and ignored, and he's trying to, galvanize voters and get them to turn out and kind of bring up the Democratic Party in those states. I think that, of course, every time he does events like this, which he seems to kind of be doing of his own volition in some ways, is also a way to kind of plant the seeds for potentially a future run of his own in the future and to raise his own name recognition.
He's very passionate about his party, his Democratic Party. There's no doubt about that. So the governor's infrastructure package just getting through, hotly debated in the Senate. Solar farms, roads, bridges, fast-tracked.
Yeah, so the governor had been pushing through this package of bills that would kind of curtail CEQA, the California Environmental Quality Act, which is often used to kind of delay projects. There's long reviews that have to happen before anything can go through. And he wanted to, curtail those for certain types of clean energy projects, transportation projects. The problem is that, lawmakers were very curious about this because he introduced it very late in the session, and so they had very little time to debate it. And so it was not part of the original budget, and so they did finally pass it, but some of them did continue to lament that the governor did not give them a whole lot of time to look over the details.
The governor's native city is old, where he was the mayor, obviously San Francisco. He recently told the city of San Francisco to, quote, enforce the damn law, end of quote, on drugs and thefts. So a lot of people are saying, back in the day, Governor, you're kind of lenient, and this is why it's that way. What is he saying here?
That's the question of the day, and that's something that I'm focusing on in my column for this week, which is, the governor, he decided to double the deployment of CHP officers in San Francisco, cracking down on fentanyl and property crimes. But when he says things like enforce the damn law, it's very difficult to understand what exactly he's talking about, because the reality is that the city of San Francisco has been enforcing the law, and they have cracked down on the very things the governor wants them to crack down on. Yet we're seeing that people are only being held for very short periods of time in jail. They're not accepting treatment or drug diversion programs. And so the problem is not really getting better, yet the governor does seem to strictly oppose longer sentences in jails or prisons. And so I've been going back and forth with his office trying to understand, when he says enforce the damn law, what exactly is he wanting to see happen? Because they are doing that and things are not improving.
Yeah, it's interesting as he goes on, whether it be a run for president or for Senate, the other side, the Republican side, is nipping at his heels a lot about San Francisco and how it is today. So I think maybe that's a show of frustration on his part that things are still the way they are in San Francisco. We looked for more columns from you on that. Emily, thank you. If you'd like to reach out to Emily Hoeven at the San Francisco Chronicle, you can at emily.hoeven@sfchronicle.com.